Hi Roshan, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm doing great. Actually, I'm doing great today. Thank you for asking. What about you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking me too. And I'm so happy to see you on my YouTube channel. So,
Thank you.
as
Thank you
you
for
are
having me.
joining me for the first time on my YouTube
Hmm.
channel, would you mind telling me about yourself for the
Sure. Why
viewers?
not? My name is Roshan and I'm from Bihar. I recently graduated with English honors. Currently, I'm working in a school to pay my bills. At the same time, I have started my YouTube channel where I talk about books, movies, and now I'm doing, conversational videos like this. And if I can find guests or if my friends agree to do, you know, Sasta podcast, then I'm recording those videos too. This is from my side.
Okay, okay, that's great to hear. So, where do you
Mm.
live now?
I'm in Bihar. I'm currently living in Siwan.
Oh, I thought you
It's
are somewhere in Delhi. As you said, you
no,
are
no,
doing this to pay your bills. You're teaching in school. I thought it's very expensive. Maybe you're in Delhi, so that's why you are doing it.
no, no,
So,
no, no.
where are you? Are you in Patna?
No, no, Siwan. Patna is about 120
Diwan
kilometers
district.
away from
I
here.
know.
Hmm.
I heard.
Yes.
Okay. So, you are
Mm.
living there with your parents, or you are living separately? You are living in a rented
Nah,
apartment.
I still live with my parents. Can't afford to leave my this free place. Can't afford to pay my rents right now. This school doesn't pay much, but it is paying other bills, so I'm fine right now. I won't say I enjoy the work, but I don't have many options too. So I have to work at the same time I'm studying, right?
Okay. So, what are you preparing for? I mean, nowadays, what are you studying? Are you looking for
Uh,
some other
well,
courses or degrees?
well, I have never been good at studies, so apart from speaking a few lines in English, no subject is good. I know English is not a subject, but in all those exams, no matter which exams you are preparing for, there is a section for English. So I was preparing for a stenographer. There is this course called shorthand. It's a kind of language which you have to learn, but not being able to consistent, I gave up on that. Right now, my goal is very simple to enroll myself in a B.Ed college and to work on my YouTube at the same time, find a job in a school where I don't have to work much. Like paperwork is hectic. So I'm looking for a school where I don't have to do a lot of paperwork. Let's see if I'm able to find. My plan is very simple to get enroll myself in a college and and then to continue it. That's it.
Okay, that's great. So you want to go for B.Ed and then you want to
Hmm.
see yourself as a government teacher or you want to see yourself as a private teacher on some private school?
Well, let's see which is paying better. If I'm able to crack that government exam, then I'll go with that. Otherwise, I will have to keep working in a school, in a private school. But
Okay,
if my
but
YouTube works,
you want to do
if I'm a,
teaching, that's it.
well, I don't want to. It's really ironic that whenever you don't want to do a thing, your life leads to that. So I have never been interested in teaching. I love the process of teaching, but when it comes to doing all those paperworks and handling classes, it's really
Nobody likes
hectic.
it.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Yes,
So
nobody likes it, man.
yes, that's especially in our country where we are coming from, like we don't education is really costly. Like if you want to get enrolled in yourself in a good government college, then you have to go through a big competition, and I'm not smart enough, or you can say I cannot cram things. So that's why I wasn't able to enroll myself in any government colleges, and I can't afford private college. So I have to use whatever resource I have. And if my YouTube works, then maybe I don't have to work in a school. So I need to put more effort here on YouTube, and I have some ideas. Let's see if I'm able to be consistent with that. So yeah, that's my plan.
Exactly. YouTube also demands a lot of consistency, I
Hmm.
would say. And till now, I have been working on YouTube for 3 years. So I understood it's not that easy, it looks.
Hmm.
Yes, exactly. You have to have some unique content, and sometimes it luck as well. It depends on your luck. Sometimes
Yes,
maybe I
definitely.
have seen some people, their first videos going viral and they get a lot of views and things. But
Mm.
sometimes for the people, they have to work a lot, and they get regular
Mm-hmm.
and consistent views only. But I'm happy with my own YouTube channel. I'm happy with it. I get
Mm.
regular views. I get regular subscribers. I
Mm.
think I do not see even a single video which went viral in a day or two. I got a lot of views, like 100K or 200K. Not like that.
Mm.
I get
Yes, yes,
regular
yes.
views. Mhm.
I understand. In my case, I didn't start YouTube just to make a living out of it. I just wanted to be able to comfortable here, speaking in front of a camera.
How long have you been working on YouTube? Can you tell
Uh,
me in
yes,
details?
initially I didn't see YouTube as a business or as a way to earn money. Uh, in the beginning, when I created my channel, it was last year in January. It was just because I wanted to talk about the books I was reading or the media I was consuming because the place I belong to that category of aliens. Like nobody watches the kind of movie I watch and nobody reads the book. So I was just looking for people with whom I can, express my thoughts. And I thought, YouTube is a great idea just to be able to talk about books or movies in general. And ever since I was a kid, I have always been a camera conscious person. So this was something I wanted to work in 2024 to be able to speak in front of a camera. So I thought that's a great idea. Let's just talk about books and on a camera. So both of my problems were being sought out. And on the initial stage, I was getting around 50 views, 100 views, and sometimes 200. So the channel was not working properly, and I wasn't paying any kind of attention. But one day I stumbled upon, the kind of videos we are making right now, conversational video. And I thought that's great idea. Let's approach. If I get a response, and I wrote to Santa ma'am. I think you must be familiar with her. Santa
Yes.
ma'am, I think she's from Kerala. So
Yes,
I
I
wrote
know.
her, and she texted me back after a month. So in between that, I had completely forgotten that I was planning to do even conversational videos. So when I got her mail, I was really excited and nervous at the same time. I didn't know how it was going to go. So I think it was in September, September or August, like just 2 months back. We recorded our
Yes,
session
24,
2 months.
right?
2 months ago, we recorded our first session with her, and I felt nice. Like it was nice. I felt nice talking to her, and then I thought maybe I should also record videos. And she agreed. She let me upload that video on my channel, and then I saw an opportunity that I can also, approach people and talk to them. So it's working fine at the moment.
Yes, I would say conversations are quite good to boost our confidence, because whenever we
Mm-hmm.
create solo videos, it's very difficult to get a lot of views in the beginning. Maybe it can work, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to be
Of
really
course.
patient for the solo
Mm-hmm.
videos to work. So maybe it can take years for you. If you have uploaded 300, 400 solo videos, they might not
Mm-hmm.
work. But in conversation, what happens? From the first or second conversation, you would get more views than comparison to the solo videos, that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot expect a lot from conversations as well. That is also the same thing. You
Yes.
cannot
Yes. Yes.
get millions or millions of subscribers from it, because this is a
Yes. Yes.
general thing, which is we are
Mm-hmm.
entertaining beginners somewhat, and it is good
Mm-hmm.
listening content for them.
Mm.
But it is not something which is going to add the value in people's life, like intermediate speakers or advanced level speakers who already speak English. They're not
Mm.
going to watch this conversation. Why they will watch it, right? There's no
Mm.
use.
Definitely. So this I think if I'm able to find people in real life, like my last video with Rahul, my friend, it did pretty well. Like I call it Sasta podcast. So we recorded it and it did well. I think it has got around 20K views and the video is still working.
Yes, around
So I'm
22, I think.
Uh, yes, around 20 or 22. And now I'm approaching more of my friends with whom I can record, real life sessions. I think those kind of videos might work, but can't say exactly. And YouTube is something which takes time. I have seen a lot of videos, their channel growing from beginning, but their personality was completely different. And you have to be creative enough at the same time. You must have certain skills to stay here, and consistency is one of those skills, right? You just have to be patient, have patience, and continue working on it.
Exactly. Yes, you cannot say that it works same for everyone.
Everyone,
Maybe for
yes,
you,
definitely.
you need to work
Mm.
harder than others, and for
Yes,
someone,
yes.
it can be pretty easier, right? So
Hmm.
it worked, and you got 22,000 views. But what did you talk about? What this podcast was all about? What did you discuss there in that video?
Actually, it was not any planned thing. We just like we have been friends when I, ever since we were in class 11. So we had not seen each other for a long time. So uh, I had already done a video with one of my friend. Her name is Sudha, and Rahul had seen that video. So he asked me that let's do. So I said, why not, man? I'm already looking for people, and I wanted somebody to record. And then we met after a long time, and we had a kind of bond when we were in class 11. So we knew each other's vibe. So that conversation really went natural. Like I asked about his way of learning and what he's doing, what his plans. So it went quite fine. And but with other people, I think I have to approach them in a manner that they feel comfortable. Like to whomever I have invited on my channel so far, 4 people, and all of them were speaking for the first time here on a camera. And my next guest is quite similar, but I hope we are able to find a date, and hopefully next week I'm going to record another session.
So it is in English or Hindi?
Just English.
English,
Yes. We don't,
right?
my channel is the niche is also English here, so I don't want to add Hindi. Maybe in future I might add, but right now, if it is working fine in English, then I'll continue it.
Yes, exactly. But at least you have people who are ready to come on camera. I did not find
Hmm.
even a single friend of mine who's ready to have conversation with me in English. They would ask
Yes,
me that
yes.
I'm ready to talk to you in Hindi if you invite me, but I said I don't
Mm.
have any plan till now to speak in
Mm-hmm.
English, in Hindi for the
Mm.
podcast. But that setup looks totally different. Virtual means offline people feel like it's more
Yes.
comparison to the virtual videos. Even though if you're
Mm-hmm.
talking something normal, then also people focus more on it because it looks
Mm-hmm.
more like a podcast. Even though right now
Yes.
which we are doing, that is also the
A
podcast, somewhat
podcast.
virtual
Mm.
podcast. But when people sit next to each other, that is a
Mm-hmm.
different feeling. It looks like
Definitely.
you
It
are
looks
doing
more
like
natural.
Ranveer Alavadia thing or Jay Shetty like that. So you are doing Raj Shamani like podcast. So even though if you are doing a very simple manner, but it looks similar, right? That you're inviting people and they're sitting next to each other and talking
Mm-hmm.
about it. But in virtual, it's a different. But it's good that you are doing a great job. Unfortunately, I do not have anyone with whom I can talk. So
Mm-hmm.
always I have been also thinking about this point, but I
Mm.
can't do it because my friends are really shy. They don't want to talk about themselves on camera. I studied in
Yes.
Navodaya. They are good enough. They studied well. I have good friends, but they are not
Mm.
comfortable talking on camera about their things. That's
Yes,
what
yes.
it is.
Same problem with me too. Like I have a few friends, but they are not comfortable here. So whomever I have approached, I had to persuade a little bit. Like, come on, dude, we can have a conversation. So at the end of the day, I was able to convince them. But with Rahul, it was just a single text. Like I texted him, and the date was finalized, and we did it.
Yeah, that's
And
great to hear. So
the
that's what you did.
the names you mentioned, I'm not familiar with any of them. I have heard of Jay Shetty, but I have never seen, like, I have seen his earlier videos. I think he's a writer too, Jay Shetty.
Yes, he is a yes an author of book like Think Like a Monk, or there's another
Hmm.
book, Eight Habits to of Love or something.
Hmm. Now, I think I have seen his earlier videos, like on Instagram, but haven't watched any full videos.
Okay, but they are podcast host and podcaster.
Yes, I
I
do.
told you
I
the
do.
names of Jay Shetty,
Hmm.
Ranveer, Tom Bayu,
Hmm.
Rashomani. All those people are doing this podcast.
Beer biceps. Are you talking about beer biceps?
Yes, yes. The name of
Well,
that host is Ranveer
yes,
Alabadia.
I have only seen like a few clips of him, and the recent one with Tumbad. Tumbad is my one of my favorite film of all time. So I watched a few clips of that. I do consume podcasts too, but it is mostly of comedians. Like there is this guy called Theo Vaughn and Bobby Lee, and
Hmm.
sometimes I listen. Like when I was in the beginning phase, I was listening to Huberman. Huberman, he talks about like he's a kind of he's a scientist and professor. So if you like more of
Neurologist
neurologist,
Andrew
yes, he
Huberman.
it's Yes, yes. It's more of educational. Yes, it is educational. So I like to watch that kind of podcast. And yes, comedy too. Theo Vaughn is a really absurd guy. I'll highly recommend him. Watch some of his videos. Like that dude is fake. Even though he's from America, the things he says, it makes sense to even people like us. Like there is a huge cultural difference, but it's still the absurdity he brings here. Like it's really funny.
Yeah, that's great. I followed also some of the comedians. I followed this Trevor Noah, or just this Fluffy. There is a guy, and I
Mm.
used to watch this Ellen show, or Steve
Mm-hmm.
Harvey. I like these TV
Mm.
host, and
Yes.
I listen to, of course, Jay Shetty or this Tom Bayou or all these people. And
Mm.
Joe Rogan is also there. And some people
Yes,
tell
Joe
me the
Rogan.
name of Joe Rogan because he's a
Yes,
very
yes.
famous guy
He
and
is
one
very
of
famous.
the popular guys, I would say. And
Hmm.
many Lex Fridman or some people
Lex
also
Friedman.
many. Mhm.
Actually, I forgot to mention him. Lex Friedman is my all-time favorite. After Theo Von, I like to listen to Lex Friedman. And it was because of him I got this idea of recording real life podcast. If you see my first video which I did with Sudha, there I was trying to like I had a list of questions and then I was pretending that I was Lex. I really like him. Like the way he speaks and he does a lot of research. For example, whoever he is inviting, he makes a list of questions and then his podcast or his interviews you can say are really productive even though you're not interested in that field you will still find things that you can find a kind of interest in his conversations.
Maybe you will end up watching whole video. Yes,
Huh?
because you will end up watching the whole video
Hmm,
because the
hmm,
way
hmm,
he
hmm, hmm.
conducts himself, that's
Yes,
great,
yes.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the actually experience which we are aspiring for, but it takes a lot of time, right? So another
Definitely.
thing goes to you related to spoken English. That why
Hmm.
spoken English? Why you want to improve your English, and why you start, or like, why did you start working on English?
Well, when I have always been interested in stories, so like I was able to comprehend the language, no matter what kind of book I was reading. Even though it was challenging, I would find time to give to find my interest. Like I was only reading things which I was interested in, even though the books were challenging. So I wanted to talk about them, and I feel like I'm able to phrase and to talk about them in a better manner when it comes to English. That's why I thought, I should work on it to able to convey my ideas in English. And I think YouTube, there is more exposure, even though like right now we can reach globally if our video quality improves a little bit with proper setup or I think audio is a big thing. If our audio is fine, the reach can be good, like better
Exactly,
than what
audio
it is
is
right
more
now.
important than video.
hmm hmm So that was my reason, just to
And then
talk about
it's all about quality
books.
content, right? If you create
hmm
quality content, it can reach out to people worldwide.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So how long it has been when you
Last
started?
year, it was last year in January when I started rambling, about books. Like exactly this place, I was recording it on my webcam, and then I just picked a book and I started talking about it like this. Today, I read this. I think it was what I had read throughout 2023. I talked about that. So the video quality is really bad. The camera quality is very bad because I recorded it on my webcam, and since then I have been doing it almost 8 or 9 months, I would say.
So you started in January 2024, not in 23,
Yes,
right?
no, no, 24.
Okay, so it's been
And
only like 8 or 9 months.
yes, yes, and conversational videos for the past 2 months or 3 months, you could say, around two. Yes,
Okay, I
I
got
think
it. So means
you
you
have
were
been doing it
interested.
for a long time, right?
Yes. I started in 2021, so it's been around 3 years.
Three
I
years.
have been doing YouTube. I started in
Hmm.
March 2021, my YouTube channel.
Hmm.
And my spoken English journey started on 29th April 2020. So it's been around 4 years. I have been working on spoken English. I was not very much interested in reading, to be honest, not the
Hmm.
stories book or nothing, but I was very much in speaking with the people. I like talking
Mm.
to people as much as I can. So that's why I have completed more than 20,000 conversations till now in last 4 years. I did conversation with the people from all around the world, and I felt the whole world like a village we can express. And I felt really happy,
Yes.
yes, because due to
Mm.
English, I can talk to person from France, Germany, Switzerland, England, or USA, and I can talk about anything, whatever I want to. But when there
Mm.
was a language barrier, I was not able to discuss whatever I wanted to. So I was more into speaking and talking to people as much as I can. So I did not create a lot of solo videos like you, because as you said, you started your journey with solo videos, right? But I started with the conversations. So till
All
now,
right.
I am not very much comfortable with the solo videos, but recently I uploaded a series based on my
Mm.
education background. So there I made
Mm.
almost 5 to 6 videos that how did I study. So now I
Mm.
became comfortable doing this solo videos also, because if you have
Great.
a command, like command over the language, it becomes easier for you to talk. Now I feel yes, I
Definitely.
can do it. It's not very difficult
Mm.
to talk on camera or make a solo
Mm.
video. What I feel, only you have to have some points, script, or
Yes.
things in
Yes.
your head that what you are going to
Mm.
speak in next 5 or 10 minutes, right?
Exactly.
Yes, and it should be more natural, what I feel. It should not be like a scripted everything, that everything you are reading, whatever you wrote in your script. It should be more like a natural, which should come from your head or instantly. That is better. And people like that raw content a lot, which I feel. So when you look
Definitely.
natural, people like it.
I think there is place for both of the videos, raw videos and scripted videos. But when you are talking about some particular thing, you must have a kind of bullet points to talk about, as you mentioned some points.
Yes, yes,
Otherwise, the
exactly.
video
For
will
solo
may.
videos, it is compulsory for you. Otherwise, you would
Hmm.
end up doing something else, which you did not
Yes,
think
yes.
about it. So that's
Hmm.
how it is. But in conversations, what I feel, it should be pretty raw and natural. Naturality
Hmm.
matters a lot. Whatever you it comes to your
Definitely.
head, you should talk about it. So, but in solo videos, yes. Even though I used to think it's a tedious task. Oh my God, like I should write script. How
Hmm.
can I do it? But then I did, and I felt yes, it is very important. Then only it would be in your head that what you have to talk about, because in
Sure.
conversation it goes with flow, right? You do not have to
Hmm.
think a lot about it. It goes from the both side.
Definitely.
But in solo videos, you have to speak from one side only.
I think you have made a series of videos with, I think, paid tutors, right?
Yes, I did
But those are
conversations with. Mhm.
I was checking out to find tutors like that, but those apps are really expensive, dude. Like you have to pay a hectic money, a hectic amount of money there.
Exactly, it's very expensive. But if you
Hmm.
reach up to the good level, they
Hmm.
can of course sponsor you somewhat, and they can make you somewhat, they call it brand ambassador, or maybe they will approach you from their side if you would reach
Hmm.
on a good level of YouTube. If you have 10 or 15 or 20,000 audience, they would
Hmm.
reach out to you that they want to
So,
have
so
conversation.
were you
And
sponsored by them? The conversation you were having, were they all sponsored or did you
yes,
have to
I
pay?
paid once only. I paid
Hmm.
once for the
Hmm.
clapping.
Hmm.
After that, I got all of those specials for free.
That's cool, man. I hope I reach to that level because it's really difficult to find partners here. I don't like to, for example, I'm not very good at holding conversation. With you, I'm able to because you are speaking, I'm speaking. But when it comes to when the second person is not speaking, it feels like it's really forceful that I have to ask a lot of questions and then there is a gap that I wait for them to ask a question. Then you have to provoke them. Do you have anything to ask? Or they ask you, do you have anything
Yeah,
to
it is
ask?
very important. I see most of
Hmm.
the people who are beginners or new on YouTube, they do not know
Hmm.
how to lead a conversation and how to
Definitely,
run a
definitely.
conversation. They would be silent. There would
Hmm.
be awkward silence, and that is not good for
Hmm.
conversation. That's why
Definitely.
always, and it we have to learn this host and guest culture. So that's why
Yes,
I
yes,
tell
yes.
people before the conversation that you are going to
Hmm.
be the host, and it is your
Hmm.
responsibility to reduce that silence, and you have to
Yes,
come up with
yes.
the questions. And if you are coming
Definitely.
on my YouTube channel, it is my responsibility to ask you the questions as much as I can.
Hmm.
So that I tell them. But people are not aware of all those things. They are pretty new. They want to do
Yes,
conversation
yes,
for
yes.
YouTube, but they do not have
Hmm.
any idea about podcast or anything.
Yes, yes, and especially the channels which are big. Like for example, I wrote to you. I remember it's been almost 2 months since I wrote to you. And then
Yes.
I know that you must be getting tons of emails like to have a conversation. Even though my channel is not that big, I do get like once in a while they write to me. But it is really difficult to whom to pick. Like I get, we don't know. Like for
Yes,
example, I
for
could,
that also you
your,
need to wait.
hmm.
You have to
Yes, yes,
write people better
yes.
actually, because once you get people would be just once you would be familiar with people's faces, then maybe they would
Hmm.
text you. Okay, but
Yes,
at
yes,
this
yes.
moment you have to text from your side as much as you can.
Definitely, definitely.
Mhm.
Yes, but there are not many people like on YouTube. There is a, I think there is a community here, but it feels like people like you or Santa ma'am, like with people like you, it's easy to hold a conversation. We can talk about anything we want to, right? But then when you are approaching
Yeah.
those new people, I'm not at that level where I let them express themselves. So I'm still learning, but it's quite easier with people like you. So I
Yeah,
think it's nice.
exactly. That's what I see. So in the conversation, both of them sometimes they are not able to understand like what is going on. Both
Going
of
on.
them would be silent and they do
Hmm,
not even know who is going to ask and who is going to answer. So that's why
hmm,
before starting the conversation, I always ask people that are you doing it for your channel? Then lead the conversation, ask some questions, have
hmm,
some questions in your head for me. But they
hmm.
feel like what are you saying, man? What I have to do? They are
Yes,
listening
yes, yes.
this thing for the first time. So that's how it
Hmm.
happens. But actually,
Yes.
yes, on YouTube, only 5 to 6 people are there who they are aware of this thing. Like they are doing conversations for very long and they have an
Hmm.
idea that how to run a conversation. But beginners, for
Definitely.
them, it is very difficult to make them understand. They feel shocked
Hmm.
that what are you asking for? So yes, but what you can do, you can write to more and more people as much as you can, and you should take
Uh,
charge. Now you should
hmm.
learn how to take charge and how to ask questions to them. Do
Definitely.
not
Yes,
ask a lot of questions related to spoken English, but ask general
hmm.
questions about their life, that
Yeah,
why
that's
you want
right.
to learn. Mhm.
Hmm. That's what I have been doing. Like this being host or being guest. Like I started with Santa ma'am. Like it was very clear because in the beginning she made it clear that this is going on your channel, so she was the host. And after a couple of weeks, we did for her channel. So I am familiar with these things. But like there are not many people. For example, I have written to Ram. His channel is getting really popular these days. Like he has some around
Mhm.
10k subscriber. So I've written to him twice and I haven't got a reply. So like it's really difficult. I'm still recording sessions, but the kind of sessions I want to record, I'm not able to find people like
It's
that.
very
And
difficult. Even though I wrote to
hmm,
Ram, I did not get a response.
and then I saw your videos with all those, like you have a kind of playlist that Clappingo and Cambly.
Yes,
So
fluency.
I just wanted to know how much you paid, but now you are telling me they were all sponsored. So I think I don't have to pay that much if I just keep uploading, and hopefully the channel will
Yes, you
grow.
have to keep working, but actually they
Hmm.
recognized few faces. That is also that
Hmm.
initiative, right? They call it that
Yes.
first mover advantage. We started
Hmm.
early in this COVID-19, so now they are picking all those known faces who are into
Hmm.
that, and because they want
I
to
get
get
it. I get it.
conversions out of it, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
They don't want
Of
to
course.
talk
Of
to, or
course.
they don't want to provide free sessions to someone if they are not getting conversions out of it. So
Definitely.
their
I know how
main
it
goal is
works.
to.
I know.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. And actually, I took sessions for the first time on Clappingo, and
Hmm.
I just offered I won 10,000 cash also, because two videos worked. Of course, for the two videos I was in the top in the month
Hmm.
or something, so they had a cash price of 5,000 rupees, so I got two times. So
On YouTube or on their channel? Uh,
on YouTube, I uploaded on my channel, but they paid
hmm.
because they were getting conversions, right?
Oh, got it, man.
Because people were knowing about the
Hmm.
Clappingo through our videos.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's how it
So
is. So I
as
did not pay a lot. Mhm.
you didn't pay a lot. Well, I'm planning. Let's see. Hopefully next year, like around January or February. If I'm not able to find more partners, then I will have to move towards it. Right now, I have a few recorded sessions, so it will work for the upcoming week. And then I have a few guests in real life. If I'm able to fix a date, then it will keep me busy for another 1.5 months or 2 months, at least 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. Better to upload videos with the people who have actually good rapport or somewhat in this community of spoken English or this
Hmm.
this conversations. So write them
Hmm.
and be patient. Like,
Yes, yes,
ask
yes.
them again and again that
Ah,
if they come back to you. Or you can do
mm,
sometimes conversations with the beginners also. It can work. Sometimes it
definitely.
works.
It does.
Okay.
So should we continue it? I think it's been too long, 28 minutes.
Yeah, it's been really long, of course. So better to talk next time. We would schedule
Sure,
any other
definitely, man.
session because people do
Hmm.
not have that patience to watch a video of
Yes,
30
they
or
don't
40
have
minutes.
the attention span to even watch 5 minute long video.
So, okay. Thank you so much, Vinod. Thanks to you, Roshan. It was really nice talking
Thank
to
you,
you.
Ashutosh.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Take care.